Hey guys, whoa, okay, listen, sorry, I know I just jumped into frame and everything. I almost missed this video, okay? I know it's like, James, how could you? But I was at a Christmas party. I know, running a little bit late, but I'm here right now, ready to record for all of you guys. I know what you may be thinking is like, who in their right mind would not show up to something whenever they need to, right? Let's get into the review. Let's talk about this game today. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost to the Houston Texans 23-20, and we're going to start by talking about some of the bad. How about that offense? How about that offense? That offense did not look great today, okay? And I'm not going to specifically blame one person, okay? It's not just Jameis Winston's fault. It's not just Peyton Barber's fault. It's not just the offensive line's fault. It's not just most of the wide receivers and tight ends' fault. It's everybody's fault, okay? It's not just Byron Leftwich's fault. It's everybody's fault, okay? The offense did not show up to play today in this game under any circumstances. From the very, very start of this game, the turnovers. The Buccaneers had 6 of them, okay? 4 Jameis Winston interceptions, 1 fumble by Peyton Barber, and a blocked field goal. Yes, I am going to count that as a turnover. Crazy. I was at this game in person, and I'm not going to rant here, don't worry, but first drive, Jameis Winston throws an interception. Second drive, Jameis Winston throws an interception. The first one was a pick 6. The second one was almost a pick 6. And I'm not going to, again, specifically blame Jameis Winston. I'm going to blame everybody here. The miscommunication, the route running, whatever you want to blame, that is part of the problem of today's game involving the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. Just throughout most of the game, it just seemed like they weren't clicking on any single level. Now, there's a lot of factors that go into that. Jameis Winston, he has a broken thumb. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, they are out. You have got, basically 3 or 4 practice squad wide receivers who were getting borderline starting reps in this game. So, yeah, there was a lot to be involved there. Guys were dropping passes. There was lack of communication, maybe even some poor route running in there. You name it, the Buccaneers offense essentially did it today to mess up their chances of winning this game. So, yeah, just that's the first point I want to make is the entire offense as a whole. I wrote down turnovers. I wrote down miscommunications along the offensive line. I wrote down dropped passes. A lot of guys dropped passes. Cameron Brate had a very critical 4th down drop pass. He had the first down. He just flat out dropped the ball. Then O.J. Howard dropped a touchdown pass earlier on in the game before that happened. So, yeah, nothing worked today for the Buccaneers offense. I'm not blaming a specific person. It was just a little bit of everything that combined to make the just really not great looking game that we saw from the Buccaneers offense. I do want to point out also, run blocking has not been good this year. This team cannot run block under most circumstances, okay? And it continued to show in this game. I will be talking about somebody who did do some good things today for the Buccaneers run game as a whole. He also was very, efficient in terms of being a receiving back for this team, but their run blocking today was not good, and it has not been getting better as the season has progressed. They got to fix that moving forward if they want to have the team that Bruce Arians wants them to have, which is kind of a run-first team and then a stopping-the-run-first team. You got the stopping the run part down. Now you just got to get your run blocking better along the offensive line. Also, speaking of running backs in the running game, Peyton Barber looked terrible today. He had a fumble, and after that, he was essentially benched. I've seen some people say, oh, well, why is he still out there? Guys, he had 0 targets and only 1 carry after that fumble, okay? It's safe to say that he was essentially benched after that fumble. So, Peyton Barber struggled. The run blocking struggled. It was just a big old mess. Another thing I want to point out is most of the receiving options beside Brashad Perriman today struggled a lot, okay? They struggled with miscommunications with Jameis Winston, like I said earlier. They struggled with catching passes. They struggled with hesitating on running their route on the deep ball. I saw with Justin Watson multiple times. Now, he did redeem himself a little bit. He did have 5 receptions, 45 yards, and a touchdown. That's good. But it could have been so much better if he didn't have those hesitations early on and those miscommunication problems with his quarterback. And the same can be said for a lot of these guys, again, besides Brashad Perriman. Last 2 things I want to mention, penalties and the referees. In terms of penalties today, and I've seen a lot of people criticizing that, only 6 penalties today. That's pretty much right on average. The big thing about the penalties today that bothered a lot of people was they came in such crucial moments, typical Bucs fashion. You get the crucial penalties that really just kill the momentum that you're giving yourselves by playing good defense and, even in some ways offense, holding penalties on big plays and whatnot, and, offsides on, third down and whatnot that gives them the automatic first down, just stuff like that was really not good. Again, 6 penalties, not that bad, but the way the penalties were done and the moments in which these penalties were done did not do the Buccaneers any favors, again, under any circumstances. And then finally, the referees. I saw a lot of people criticizing the referees, and I will say, yes, there were definitely some blown calls in this game. There should have been a fumble with tight end Darren Fells. It was not called because, of course, it wasn't. And there were a couple of other plays as well. But, again, guys, that's not, the main reason why the Buccaneers lost that game. And I really hope people don't think that, because that's not even close to true, at all, okay? We can't just say, oh, the referees screwed us. No, the Buccaneers offense essentially screwed itself, so it is what it is. While I was a little upset at a handful of the calls that the referees gave in this game, I'm not, willing to say that that is the main reason why the Buccaneers lost this game. And last thing I want to mention is struggles on special teams. Like I said earlier, the Buccaneers did have a blocked field goal. That wasn't good. And then also in their return game, they got little to nothing. Dario Ogunbowale at kick returner just wasn't working out that well. And then Spencer Snell at punt returner. Again, it wasn't terrible. He just really couldn't do anything necessarily. He didn't have a great chance to, get past defenders or anything like that. He didn't fumble the ball, so I guess that is good. But yeah, really not a great time from our special teams with the blocked field goal and with the lackluster returning. It was rough, and it just kind of symbolizes the just overall struggles the Buccaneers had in this game, not just on offense, but on special teams as well. Start talking about some of the good. There's literally only 2 guys who I think of in a positive light for this game on the offensive side of the ball, and that is Breshad Perriman, who finished the game with 7 receptions and 102 yards, and Ronald Jones, who finished the game with 17 touches, 109 total yards, and 1 touchdown. Hey, shout out to you 2 guys. At least you guys both decided to come out there, play some football. And I will say Jameis Winston, he did have his good moments in this game as well. He's throwing 49 times. You're not going to win a lot of games like that. But I will say that Breshad Perriman and Ronald Jones games stood out, especially in the swamp that was the Buccaneers' offensive performance today in this game. Both Breshad Perriman and Ronald Jones had pretty good games, all things considered. Finally, guys, we're going to talk about the defensive side of the ball, and first I want to talk about our pass rushers. First, you had Carl Nassib, who finished the game with 2 tackles and 1 sack. Good game from Carl Nassib. I thought the pass rush did a really solid job, and Nassib contributed to that. Shaq Barrett, he didn't break the sack record. I'm so upset. He has 1 more game to do it, and it's against the Atlanta Falcons. He did pretty good against the Atlanta Falcons last time the Buccaneers played him, so fingers crossed he's going to break the record there. He literally only has 1 more chance to do it, so I'm a little worried, but not overly worried about it. And then also the other guy I want to mention here for the pass rush, Jason Pierre-Paul, who had a phenomenal game. He finished with 4 tackles, 3 sacks, and 3 tackles for loss. He's amazing, okay? JPP is amazing. At 31 years old, he can still go out there and still be an amazing pass rusher for this team. He did great, and I loved seeing him be as productive as he was. He got to Deshaun Watson multiple times in this game. He showed his fire as a pass rusher. He still continues to show his leadership, and, a lot of people have been talking to me and say, hey, we need JPP back. We need him back, and I do think we should try to bring him back, but the price tag is still going to be iffy. But, as time goes on, I'm starting to think more and more like, hey, maybe this guy does deserve $8 million or something along those lines for a 1-year deal. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But overall, the pass rush did a pretty solid job. Finally, to talk about the remaining front 7 guys I want to talk about, as well as 2 members of the secondary. First guy, Lavonte David, 10 tackles, 1 forced fumble. Just continues to be Lavonte David. He's great. We all know this. Devin White, 8 tackles, 1 fumble recovery. I believe he recovered the fumble that Lavonte David forced. Great stuff. Devin White, keep on being great, man. 8 total tackles today. Not bad under any circumstances. And then finally, the 2 members of the secondary. First one, Jamel Dean, 1 tackle, 1 pass deflection, and 1 interception. That interception came at a very crucial time as well. Jamel Dean seems to pull out these very important interceptions in very crucial moments in games when he needs to. Of course, didn't matter at the end of the day because the Buccaneers offense couldn't necessarily capitalize that much on it. But I will say, Jamel Dean, good job on getting an interception. Keep up the great work. And then also Sean Murphy-Bunting, who finished the game with 4 tackles, 1 sack, 1 pass deflection, and 1 forced fumble. Sean Murphy-Bunting these last few games has really been gaining more and more steam and momentum in terms of finishing strong on his rookie year, and it just makes me so excited about the future of the Buccaneers secondary moving forward, especially at the cornerback position with Jamel Dean, Sean Murphy-Bunting, and Carlton Davis. So yeah, the young guys did a really good job. I just mentioned 3 guys from the most recent draft class in Sean Murphy-Bunting, Jamel Dean, and Devin White. This is looking like a really, really, really good draft class for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I feel like most, if not all of these guys have made some form of an impact for the team this year, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm having a great time, especially the defensive rookies we've had this year. They've all been able to do a really, really good job, and they've all had some very strong rookie seasons. But guys, that's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about this loss down in the comments section below. Again, guys, I'm going to chalk this loss up to turnovers and offensive miscommunications and struggles. Again, it's just a little bit of everybody. A little bit of Jameis Winston, a little bit of the wide receivers not knowing what to do in certain situations, a little bit of the running backs, specifically Peyton Barber. Ronald Jones actually had a good game. A little bit of a blocked field goal, and just a little bit of everything. Play calling, whatever you want to say, it is part of the problem that was the Buccaneers offense today. So it is what it is. Let's move on to Atlanta and hopefully finish the season 8-8 so we can at least say we didn't have a losing record this year. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. Let's keep spirits going. We're almost done. One more game and then we will be done and we can get into the off season. It'll be a lot of fun. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed. I will see you in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always guys, goodbye for now and go Bucs.